The usage of animals has been there since time immemorial, and mostly due to necessity. For food mostly and warmth. But with the industrial age, the technology age, and now the information age, it is really an archaic practice. Many of the things we use animals for is absolutely unnecessary. So we believe that it's time now to move to the next frontier of social justice and give animals the rights that they need and deserve. And it's not just about the animals, it's also the health of the planet. Many of our agricultural practices, animal agriculture, are harming the planet, increasing global warming, disproportionately utilizing resources, and therefore affecting human health and the health of the planet. So we believe in one health and fairness to all, and to achieve that, it's important to work for animal justice. And in India, most organizations that are working on animals are mostly working on reactive issues, not with a long-term approach. Rescue and relief, while important, does nothing to actually end the system that puts these animals in harm's way in the first place.
Hello and welcome to Spare Change to Real Change. It's a series of conversations we started to wake up India to the idea of giving and spotlighting some amazing causes across the country. Today we have Sandeep Reddy, COO of the India Animal Fund. Sandeep, thank you for joining me. I saw online that you are positioned as the first online funding platform for animals in the country. Is that true? And if you could start with the origin of that story.
Thank you for having me, and really excited about this conversation. And yes, we are currently the only giving platform for animals in the country. And it really started with an idea of a social justice movement. As Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. In the past, social justice movements have fought against oppression, ending slavery, giving women the rights to vote, oppression of religious minorities, LGBTQIA. But animals have largely been absent from the movement, and we believe they are the next frontier of social justice. Animals too are citizens of the planet and they're sentient beings, but millions and billions of them are suffering every day, and their use has become normalized. We use them for food, science, work, entertainment, many areas which we don't even think of. Now, most people are very conscious of their social responsibility and would not want to harm an animal. Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking they want to exploit an animal, but nonetheless, it has become normalized, mainly because we aren't aware. So the usage of animals has been there since time immemorial, and mostly due to necessity. For food mostly and warmth. But with the industrial age, the technology age, and now the information age, it is really an archaic practice. Many of the things we use animals for is absolutely unnecessary. So we believe that it's time now to move to the next frontier of social justice and give animals the rights that they need and deserve. And it's not just about the animals, it's also the health of the planet. Many of our agricultural practices, animal agriculture, are harming the planet, increasing global warming, disproportionately utilizing resources, and therefore affecting human health and the health of the planet. So we believe in one health and fairness to all, and to achieve that, it's important to work for animal justice. And in India, most organizations that are working on animals are mostly working on reactive issues, not with a long-term approach. Rescue and relief, while important, does nothing to actually end the system that puts these animals in harm's way in the first place. So we believe that the way to attain animal justice is to work on it through multiple angles. You need to build capacity. You need to develop alternatives. You need to do policy and advocacy work for more and more people and lawmakers to understand the issues. And we exist to be a backbone organization for the whole movement.
Thanks for that. That was really good context. And like you said, perhaps even as giving generally, we are early. And when we come to the context of animals, we're perhaps not even consciously thinking of it as a larger community. Sandeep, in the time that India Animal Fund has been set up, what's the kind of early impact you've been able to make?
Thanks for that question. I think we've been around for a year. We had a big launch on NDTV. It was a 2-hour telethon hosted by Dr. Prannoy Roy. And since then, we've raised over 10 crores in funds for interventions across various areas, impacting tens of thousands of animals. But most significantly, we've trained 30 leaders who are all employed in the movement. We've had people coming from various walks of life who had a passion to do something for animals. And we brought in 30 such individuals who are now employed with the movement. We've also helped bring some global organizations into India, like Physicians Association for Nutrition, Plant-Based Foods Initiative. And next, we're working on bringing ProVeg and Asia Research and Engage into India. So we believe with all of these organizations coming in and working on the problem through multiple angles will help us get to the eventual goal of animal justice and reducing the use of animals for humans.
I know 1 year is still early days. What have been the biggest challenges from an organizational lens or any other lens of just setting something like this up and the vision you have?
No organization in the social sector is bereft of challenges. And like any social justice movement, the biggest challenge is it's a long war. It can last decades, it can last generations. One other challenge is that awareness is lacking, awareness among the public, like I mentioned earlier. We don't know the impact of our choices. Animal causes largely have been ignored mainly because of lack of awareness. So that's a challenge. And right now we generate about 26,000 crores of CSR money every year, and less than 0.5% of that goes towards animals.
Wow.
So changing that perspective and changing that equation and increasing the share of the funds that go towards animal causes, that's going to be a challenge. It's going to take a while to change the mindset of the funders. And of course, talent is another. There are many people, many individuals across the country who are very passionate, who feel deeply for animals, but there hasn't been enough in terms of creating a whole pipeline of careers and organizations to absorb these people and to train them and make them impactful advocates for the animal justice movement.
What does tangible impact look like in 5 years? From where you're sitting, where would you like to be? Where would India Animal Fund like to be in 5 years?
In 5 years, we'd like to have brought in at least 10 organizations into India, global organizations doing impactful work, working on interventions with the government, with law enforcement, bureaucracy. And we'd like to see that percentage change. We'd like to see that 0.5% go to maybe 2 or 3%, make it 3 or 4 times what it is today. And also bring in another 100 leaders or another 200 leaders into the movement by then. So these are small goals because we're just starting off. And like I said, it's a really long war.
More power to you, Sandeep. I do want to end with, because this is a conversation we are having to get more people to support causes like yours. What are ways listeners can support the India Animal Fund?
Like any growing organization, we need all the support we can get. First and foremost, I'd like to request viewers to be conscious, a little more educated about the choices we make and understand the impact it has on animals and the environment. 2 is, join our Instagram page, support us, support the campaigns from time to time, support those causes, contribute monetarily, share with your friends, and most importantly, consider, if you're an animal lover, consider joining the movement.
Thank you, Sandeep. To everybody listening, we will share a link to the India Animal Fund with this conversation. Please support in any way that you can, and especially monetarily. Thank you so much for being a part of Spare Change to Real Change.
Thank you so much.